Hello, my name is Majestic, and I am here to tell a story. So just utilize your imagination and sit back, relax, and enjoy. Once upon a time, there was a woman who lived in the forest. She enjoyed walking upon the grass of the forest. She enjoyed the bathing of the sun every day. This woman one day decided that she wanted to make some tea. And so she went and she got some tea leaves. That was not far. It was deeper into the forest, but she knew exactly where it was. And near the tea leaves, there was a little basil, and there was also some mint. And so she decided to pick the other leaves, the basil and the mint. And so she said that she needed a bowl, a cup for the tea. And so she decided to carve a bowl out of wood. She utilized one of the trees that were near. And so she carved the bowl out of wood, and she just, she was so excited that she put a little star on the side. And so she went and she looked up and she saw that there was a river bank flowing. And she saw the end of the river bank. But since it was the time of season, she realized that the river bank was running dry. And at the end of the river bank, it was running dry. And so then she realized that she needed to go further up the river, where the river was a little more thick with water. And so she walked and she traveled up the river until the water was flowing. And so then she took her cup and she filled her cup with the water. But first she put the tea leaves in, and then she put in the mint, and she sprinkled in a little basil for the flavor. And then she filled her cup with water from the river. And so she decided to take her tea as she was allowing it to soak and to just bask in the flavors. She realized she needed something to stir her tea with. And so she set her tea down next to the river and went back into the forest to search for something to stir her tea with. And as she went on her search, she found a stick. And this stick, she took it back to the river. She cleaned the stick. The stick was about this long. And she took the stick and she cleaned it. And she cleaned it. And then she utilized it to stir her tea. And next she thought that she needed somewhere to go and sit. And so she looked and she looked and she went to an area that was nothing but the top of pure valley. And she looked and she would oversee all the valleys connecting in the river that flowed through the valley. It was also an area where the sun was beaming and shining so clear. She sat down and she realized that she wanted her tea to sit in the sun. And that way it would allow the sun to marinate and allow the flavors to marinate. And the sun would just kiss the tea so beautifully. And she knew that the sun would do as such. And so she sat there and then she decided that she wanted some music. She wanted to sing. And so she decided to go back into the forest and find something to build an instrument with. And so she went back into the forest and she found the stems from the leaves, and she found a stick that she connected the stems with the stick. And she realized that the stems made a sound. And at each length of the stick, there was a new sound. And so she decided that she was going to combine the sticks and combine the stems and tie them onto the stick and allow the music to play. And she sat there and she sat there in front of the tree looking at the valley and before her, and she decided to play her music. And it went a little something like this. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am happy. I am happy. And she was so in love with her music, with the songs that she was playing, as the birds around her was chirping and the butterflies were flying past. And she then, after her song, she realized that her tea was done. And so she went and she grabbed her cup and she put it up to her mouth and she took a sip, and it was just it was so good, and it was so healing, and it was just so, it was all the taste. It was sweet. It was juicy. And that's the end of my story. Thank you for watching.